The thug mayor, in inverted commas? Why was the mayor of Ekurhuleni, Nkosiphendule Xhakaza, consorting with an alleged murderer on the very night in which he is accused of killing a popular DJ? Why was his presence at the scene of the murder hidden from investigators? And what might the mayor know about the murder of the former Ekurhuleni chief auditor Mpho Mafole, who was also allegedly killed by the same security guards? In an explosive News24 investigation, veteran journalist Sikonathi Mantshantsha spills the beans, and he joins us now to explain the story. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for your time. Let's start with Bongani Mfihlo. Who was he, and what were the circumstances surrounding his death?
Thank you, Bongani. Good morning. We do not know much about the late Mr. Mfihlo, other than that he was a disc jockey at his own club in the town, Kempton Park. And we of course only got to know about him when he got killed the night of September 2023 in the presence of the mayor.
Yeah, you say, your investigations say the police now place the current mayor of Ekurhuleni directly at the scene.
That's absolutely correct, Bongani. There was, after the murder of Mpho Mafole on the 30th of June 2025, almost 2 years after that of Mr. Mfihlo, there was a change in the investigations, in the investigators, that the case was taken away from the Kempton Park police station, which had been investigating the Mfihlo murder as well, and it was given to the Gauteng Serious Crimes and Violence Unit. It is that unit that actually realized, or when it did its investigations, realized that the mayor had been at the murder scene, but no dockets showed that, and they sought access to him and tried to find out why he had not been interviewed by the previous investigating team. That's how we got to know the matter during the several court appearances, speaking to people involved with the case, and we asked the mayor if he knew anything about this.
Well, I'll come back to the mayor in a moment, but let's just wrap that Mfihlo murder, or at least killing, up. The security guards who pumped 14 bullets into this man say it was all in self-defense.
Absolutely. They handed themselves over to the police several hours after the murder, and the police station is down the road from the club. It was two security guards who worked for a company called 87 Future Enterprise, which still guards the bus rapid trail stations at the Ekurhuleni municipality. And on that particular night, they claimed they were patrolling around the area, and they got into conflict with Mr. Mfihlo, whom they said they defended themselves from him with 14 bullets in the end.
And then, of course, last year, we know the former Ekurhuleni chief auditor, Mpho Mafole, was killed also in a hail of bullets, allegedly by the same suspects.
There were two suspects that handed themselves over to the police in 2023 and claimed to have killed Mr. Mfihlo in self-defense. Only one of those men was identified by the police in the June 2025 killing of Mpho Mafole. One of the two, not all
both.
Two. So that one gentleman is in police custody, Bongani Njali. He was one of the two who were arrested or handed themselves over for Mfihlo's murder 2 years earlier.
And to be clear, of course, Xhakaza at that time was not the mayor. He was merely an MMC.
Xhakaza was MMC for Shared Corporate Services, Legal and Risk at the municipality at the time that Mfihlo was murdered. When Mafole was murdered, Xhakaza was the mayor of Ekurhuleni.
And now you're saying that the Kempton Park police, it would appear, fudged the investigation.
It appears it was just a bit more than just negligence or ignorance. They really tried not to interview anybody, the mayor included. The scene, they abandoned the crime scene. We're talking now about the 2023 murder of Mfihlo. They abandoned the crime scene and they really didn't process any witnesses.
Yeah.
And they said the witnesses, they said in the case docket that the witnesses declined to testify, citing fears for their own safety, and therefore the investigation went nowhere until there was a change. The case was taken away from them when Mafule was murdered last year.
So what's Xhakaza's explanation for having been at the scene when Mfihlo was murdered?
Yeah, we asked Mr. Xhakaza, what were you doing at the scene? And of course, Bongani, it is alleged by the people who seem to know these things that Mr. Mfihlo was fetched from his home or from wherever by a security team linked to Xhakaza. And we asked Xhakaza, what was going on there? He said, one, I knew Mfihlo as a local DJ, and our interactions were only limited to social acquaintance. And I cannot discuss what business I discussed with him that particular night. The mayor has since, of course, late in November, finally submitted an affidavit to the police after many attempts by the police investigators to talk to him. And there were claims that he was manipulating the investigation, refusing to talk to them, and always referring to senior management, that he was going to talk to senior police management and not the people assigned to the investigation. All in all, he says, yes, I knew the man, and yes, I have given my affidavit, and only that we knew each other from social acquaintance as he was a local DJ.
Gosh, but no explanation for why he was with the man on the night he was murdered, supposedly, or at least allegedly, by security guards he is linked to. And to be clear, if we go back to Mphomafolo, he was, of course, investigating irregularities of close to 2 billion rand in a chemical toilets tender. That's a staggering amount of money.
Absolutely, Bongani. Mphomafolo was murdered 3 days after submitting an audit report to the municipality scathing of its conduct and how it had gone about choosing suppliers of the mobile chemical toilets in a 3-year, 1.8 billion rand contract. 3 days later, he was shot and killed. He was shot and killed allegedly by one of the men who had killed Bongani Mfihlo in the presence of the now mayor at the time.
What's that famous phrase? Connect the dots. Appreciate your time as always, Sikonathi Mantshantsha, journalist with News24. You can go to News24 to see the documents, videos, or timelines of what they've compiled as far as this story is concerned. But as they say, connect the dots.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions,
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.